All right, let's talk about the big one. It's the question every single artist asks at some point. How do I actually get paid for my music? Today, we are going to cut right through all the noise and give you a crystal clear guide to collecting every single dollar you've earned. Let's dive in. So you did it. You poured everything you have into writing, recording, and producing an amazing track. It's finally out there, people are hearing it, it's getting plays, which is awesome. But then comes that big, nagging question, how does any of that turn into actual money in my bank account? You're not alone in feeling confused, but trust me, we're about to make it all make sense. I mean, if you've ever even tried to Google this stuff, you've probably seen something like this, right? It's just this alphabet soup of acronyms, PRO, IPI, MLC, ASCAP. It's enough to make your head spin. But here's the good news. You don't need to memorize all of this. To beat the maze, you just need to understand one single core idea.
And this is it. This is the golden key. The one thing that once you get it unlocks everything else. Every song you create isn't just one thing. It's actually two separate copyrights living side by side. The minute you grasp this, that whole confusing world of royalties suddenly becomes simple.
So what are these two copyrights? Let's break it down with an analogy. First, you have the composition. Think of this as the blueprint for a house. It's the song in its most basic form. The melody, the chords, the lyrics, it's the idea of the song. Then you have the sound recording, also known as the master. This is the finished house that you built using that blueprint. It's the specific version you recorded. This is exactly why one song, like say Hallelujah, can exist as a blueprint, but there can be thousands of different finished houses, thousands of different recordings of it.
Okay, and this is where it all clicks into place. This chart maps those two copyrights directly to the organizations that pay you. See, money for the composition, the blueprint, is collected by your Performing Rights Organization, or PRO, and a group called the Mechanical Licensing Collective, or MLC. But money for the sound recording, the finished house, that's collected by a totally different group called Sound Exchange. This is the aha moment. Different rights, different collectors. It's that simple. So, with that big picture in our heads, let's get practical. Let's get our hands dirty. Before you can register a single note, you need to plant your flag in the ground. You have to prove you are who you say you are in the global music system. This is step one. And you do that with something called an IPI number. Now that stands for Interested Party Information, but all you need to know is this. It's your unique ID number as a songwriter, and it's recognized all over the world. It's kind of like a social security number, but for your music career. It's how a PRO in Japan knows that the John Smith who wrote a song is you and not some other John Smith. The best part? You get this number automatically when you join a PRO. So where do you find this magic number? It's actually super easy. Just pop over to your PRO's website, whether it's ASCAP, BMI, wherever. Look for their public search tool. It's usually called a repertory or repertoire search. Type in your name, and boom! Right there next to your name will be your 9-digit IPI number. Grab it, save it somewhere safe, because you're gonna need it. Okay, you've got your unique ID. Check. Now you're ready to actually start telling the world about your music. It's time to register that blueprint, the composition, so you can get paid whenever it's used. Now, if you remember our chart, there are two main places to go to register the blueprint. First up is your PRO. They collect performance royalties. You know, money from when your song gets played on the radio, in a bar, on a TV show. The second place is the MLC, and they handle a whole different bucket of money, the mechanical royalties from streaming services right here in the US. Registering a song with your PRO is pretty much the same no matter which one you're with. You log in, you click something like register a work, and you start plugging in the info. You'll put in the song title, and then, and this is critical, you have to add every single person who helped write the song. This is where you'll need their IPI numbers to make sure the money goes to the right people. Now, speaking of other raters, this is probably the most important part of the whole process, getting the splits rate. The ownership shares for all the raters have to add up to exactly 100%. Not 99.9, not 101, exactly 100. So if it was you and a buddy, it's 50-50. 4 raters, 25% each. If you mess this up, payments can get held up for months, so please double check your math in your agreements. So registering with your PRO gets you covered for radio and live shows. But let's be real, a huge piece of the pie today comes from streaming. And for that, there's a special type of royalty called a mechanical royalty. Think of it as a tiny payment every time your song is reproduced as a stream.
To get that money, you need to know about another key player.
And that player is the MLC. This organization was literally created to solve this exact problem for streaming. They collect all those little mechanical royalty pennies from services like Spotify and Apple Music in the US, bundle them up, and then pay them out directly to songwriters. So you absolutely have to register your songs here in addition to your PRO. If you don't, you are literally leaving money on the table.
All right, we've taken care of the blueprint. Now, what about the finished house? That master recording you spent so much time on? Well, that is a whole separate world of royalties, and it's collected by a whole different organization.
And that organization is Sound Exchange. Now, they specifically collect royalties for the owner of the master recording and the performers on it. But listen closely, because this is key. They only cover non-interactive platforms. What does that mean? Think satellite radio like SiriusXM, internet radio like Pandora, or those cable TV music channels. You know, any service where you can't pick the exact song that plays next. Sound Exchange handles that.
Now, the process for registering your masters here is, well, it's very data-driven. You'll log into your account, you'll head over to your catalog, and you'll probably have to download one of their spreadsheet templates. Then you fill it all in, song titles, artist names, ISRC codes, the whole shebang, and upload it. It's a little tedious, I'm not gonna lie, but it is absolutely essential if you want to get paid from any of those platforms.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've talked copyrights, we've talked collectors, it's a lot. So let's just boil this all down into one simple, actionable checklist that you can use for every single song you release from now on.
Here it is, your game plan. Step 1, always remember, you have 2 copyrights, the blueprint and the finished house. Step 2, know your IPI number, your songwriter ID. Step 3, register your blueprint, the composition, with both your PRO and the MLC. Step 4, register your finished house, the recording, with Sound Exchange. And finally, the golden rule that ties it all together, keep your data, your splits, your titles, accurate and the same everywhere. This checklist right here, this is your path to getting paid properly. And let me just say, it's so easy to look at all this as just boring paperwork, a chore you have to get through. But it's not. It's so much more than that. This is you taking the reins. This is you acting as the CEO of your own music career. It's about respecting the value of what you create and building a real, sustainable business around your art. It is an act of empowerment. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. You put in countless hours, all that blood, sweat, and tears to create your music. So isn't it time to make sure your music catalog is out there working just as hard for you, 24/7, collecting every single cent that you've earned? Now go get what's yours.